Hello, I'm Marla Miller, and I'm the author of SweetSpot, Now and Then. Um, what I thought I'd do in this video snippet is explain the now and then portion of SweetSpot. In a video that I just posted, it's probably not up yet on Amazon. It explains the word sweet spot and where it came from. So for those of you who might be interested, you need to know that this is kind of a steamy novel. I mean, it has two sections in it, that are steamy. Um, but it's a novel about transitions in life, about loss and change, about losing youth, about children, leaving the nest, issues with parents and their aging. And so I wrote this in the early 2000s. And when I dug it back up again because I had to put it away. I'm a magazine editor and I was working for 6 years as an editor in chief, and I didn't have a lot of time and other things were going on nonetheless. And so when I brought it back up and I read it, I still loved it, but I thought, it needs an update. Excuse me, Mom, my phone is just going crazy. It needs an update. And I thought, well, how am I going to update it? And then I think it was around the time it was probably around that time I really got the idea from Bridgerton and Lady Whistledown, who, if you've watched that series, I've watched it and I've read all of Julia Quinn's books. You know that Lady Whistledown inserts herself into the story, and I thought, oh, this is a great way to bring readers up to date. And so that's what I did. I literally borrowed from Shonda Rhimes' creation because Julia Quinn didn't have Lady Whistledown in her novels. Shonda added that. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit. Now, this is page 1 or page 9. It opens the book. Dear readers, when I first wrote Sweet Spot Now and Then, I didn't consider it fiction, but it wasn't my memoir either. Years ago, literary legend Norman Mailer defended the author that Oprah eviscerated on her show for fudging the facts in A Million Little Pieces. His memoir turned bestseller once Oprah added it to her book club list. Mr. Mailer said every memoirist has to lie because no one's life is that compelling, not even his own. His words struck a chord, as did those spoken by Nora Ephron in an interview about her debut novel, Heartburn. She considered it as much memoir as work of fiction, a declaration likely affirmed by her ex-hubby, who did his legal best to keep Heartburn from seeing publishing's light of day. I began writing this novel a few years before 9/11 shifted us into the world we inhabit now. In the years since typing the end, lots has happened, and much of it good. I have 3 published books, all part of a series that sold well enough to establish me as a bona fide writer. Readers will learn more about my home gardening series as this story progresses, a project I began in 1998, the summer before attending my first writers' conference. That conference is also featured prominently in this story I'm about to tell you. And so we're off. That's all I'm going to say now. I hope that it was enough to pique your interest. I am doing my very best to find my readers, and they are women, I think, mostly, but I'll tell you what, men should read this. If you're married and if you're in a long-term relationship, you want to know a little something about your partner, you should read this. Because midlife is tough, folks. Midlife is tough for long-term marriages. The divorce rate spikes at midlife for very good reasons. People get scared. And that's all I'm going to say. You'll have to read Sweet Spot. And I hope that you do. Okay, that's it. It's Friday here. And so I'm hoping everyone has a lovely weekend. And I intend to have one myself. Toodles until the next time.